It's me, Christina, here at the Art Museums of Colonial Williamsburg with another Pop Culture Challenge. We're going to connect this portrait of two little children with Star Wars. I've been a big fan of Star Wars since 1977. Now, if we take a look at this portrait, we're looking at two children, both of them dressed in frocks. Now, one is a boy, one is a girl. And if we look really closely, there are some really great clues that the artist gives us and tells us which child is the boy, which child is the girl. The reason we're looking at this portrait is because this child, all dressed in blue, has buttons on the top portion of that dress or frock. Also has very well-defined cuffs with buttons attached. And if we removed the bottom portion of this frock, we would get a really good view of a man's coat. You'll also notice that this child is wearing a bow at the front of his neck, very similar to a man's shirt with a tied cravat, and the hairstyle much like a man's wig. This child, all dressed in blue, is the boy in the picture, or the brother. You'll notice that the little girl dressed in gold is lacking those buttons. She has a ruffle at the top of her frock and a cap. Now, both kids are wearing these little dresses. That's because it was easier for mom and dad to pass down sets of clothing from one child to the other. They could all wear the same clothes. It was cheaper and more effective, and it was easier for mom to change a diaper and easier for these kids to learn how to go potty, lacking those buttons that held up a pair of pants on a little boy. And we did this well into the 20th century. So how do we connect this portrait with Star Wars? When you take a look at this little boy dressed in his blue frock, it's very reminiscent of young Padawan learners trying to maneuver their lightsabers and those Jedi Knights out in the Star Wars universe fighting off evil. I'll leave you with this one image of a child dressed in a blue frock, just like the one in the portrait, holding a lightsaber. Thanks so much for joining us on this Pop Culture Challenge. We hope you'll leave your suggestions in the comments below. Hope to see you soon at the Art Museums of Colonial Williamsburg.